Hey y'all, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have this journal for you. I'm going to do a flip through. This is my design team project for the month for Crafty Lisa's Vintage. So her upcoming sale is the Yummy Kitchen Ephemera sale, and I made this journal using almost only ephemera from her sale. So that sale will be on April 3rd through 5th. That's Friday through Sunday. And you can follow her on Instagram for more details. And I'll link her profile in the description box of this video. Also, I did a start to finish journal series on the making of this journal. So you can watch the first video of it where I made the cover on my YouTube channel here, and then the rest of it was posted on my Patreon for my patrons there. So I have my Patreon set up to where all my tiers get the same exact digital content. So you get free digitals on Fridays, and you also get access to all of my tutorial videos and all the other digital things. So anyway, the lowest tier is only $1 a month, so it's super affordable, and I want it to be that way. But in the process, you're also helping to make it possible for me to continue to still make these journals. So anyway, without further ado, I will do the flip through of this. Just know that most of the ephemera used in this journal came from Lisa, and so like everything that's a label, most of the tags and things like that are made with ephemera from her sale. So the outside, I've used this vintage quilt square and just some additional fabric because it wasn't quite long enough to cover the cover. And I've made this flap on the outside from a vintage label and a vintage envelope. So the dimensions of the journal are 7.5 by 5, and yeah, so the inside of the flap actually has a pocket where I've tucked in a little collage tag that I made. So there we go. You can journal on the back. This is actually a Denison tag that I've just collaged on, and just a couple little tickets, and so here you go. So those three things tuck excuse me, tuck inside there. And the cool thing about this envelope is that it was a clasp envelope, so I've just glued down the flap and left the clasp, and it's like actually really rusty, so that's kind of neat that like the vintage envelope actually is like looks vintage too. So and then you can see the little patina there from the rust from when it was closed. Okay, so inside I just have this French invite. This was not from Lisa. This was from a Happy Mail that I got, I believe. And then inside I've just made an additional little tuck spot, and then this is a tuck spot also. So I left them blank because I always tuck a letter inside the front pocket on my journals, and then my business card also. So but obviously the owner of the journal can use them for whatever they want. And then I've just used some gummed tape here. So this is vintage gum tape there. And so some children's book page. This is a vintage place card that I have just used a brad to attach it so it swivels, and you can also tuck something behind there if you want. This was not from Lisa, this was from a Happy Mail, but she has like a little gold accent on her outfit. I don't know if you can see that, but I love these. Yeah, so, and then on this page, I have just clipped on this little picture of this girl who's baking, And this was just from like a vintage Ideals magazine, and I thought it fit super well with this journal theme, so goes there. Just some like glued together pages, and on this side I've made like a pocket with a recipe card, and then I've just tucked in this journaling card that I made from like a gardening card, and I used it because it had these oranges, but this was from my personal collection. This was the only piece that I used from Lisa. Excuse me. And then I am like struggling so badly with coughing from allergies. And then these little tags. I think they're so cute. I love tiny little tags, so I always try to include some. So those just tuck in there. And then all the rest of like the collaged pieces, and then this little drink recipe card, all came from Lisa. So you can pick any of these things up in her sale. And then on this page, I actually made like a mini little additional notebook out of this bean seed packet. And I love these little seed packets because they just like lend themselves so well to being like just a super cute little journal cover. So this time I just made it into like the little additional journaling space in the form of a little notebook. Okay, on this page I just used some of Lisa's tickets. She always does like general color themed tickets and stamps and things like that, and then she'll have things like this label and like recipe pieces and whatever fits with the sale theme too. So I made this collage tag and just added it here for extra journaling space. And then this was from my personal collection. It is a vintage menu. I don't think it's terribly like super vintage, but all of this like bending and like the little rusty spots are all from like the natural aging. Like I did none of that. It was actually folded kind of like this, and so I did refold it, but everything else is just natural to the menu itself. So that just clips on here, and I thought what a perfect journal to use that in, because it is kitchen themed and a menu obviously goes well with that. And then I've used multiple different recipe book pages, so they're all from different recipe books, but I thought that would be really great in this journal too. And then I also tried to leave a lot of journaling space so that you can record your own recipes. There are like a lot of blank journaling cards with blank backs, which you can do the same thing. Here's more recipe book page, and I've just pasted on like extended the short pages so that you have extra space on those pages too. And then tucked inside this wallpaper, this is vintage wallpaper pocket, I've included these two postcards featuring dining rooms, which, I mean, when I got them, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to use these for, but they fit so well with this journal. And anyway, so I just tucked them in. I think they're so fun and like very mid-century, so anyway, they just tuck in here, and you can use them for journaling or whatever you want. So those are there. Skipped a few pages. Okay, so more journaling space. This I just picked because of the color. Like the yellow gold color fits so well with the color of the journal, which the color of the journal has like two reasons. Number one, the main color for Lisa's sale is going to be like golds, yellows, neutral tones, but also my mom's kitchen when I was growing up was like super bright, sunshiny yellow. So she like decorated with sunflowers, and so I just really wanted to capture like that feeling of happiness from like being a kid and helping my mom cook in the kitchen. So that's why there's so much yellow in this journal, because of that. And then here is just another collage journaling card, which the dairy coupon and this apple juice label will both be in Lisa's sale. She'll also have things like recipe pages, recipe book pages, and recipe cards, and things like that. Here's a vintage photo. It's not like super old or anything. I think it's from the 80s. Yeah, 85. But I just thought it fit so well with the journal. She's like dining outside. And this is actually a sticker. So it's like an advertisement, like a bumper sticker, I think. Or like a label to stick on the outside of like a to-go bag or something like that. But I thought it was nice with this picture and this page. And then on this page, I've just tucked in a vintage check and this like little note page, which this is not vintage, but I thought it fit well, so tuck it in there. And then on this side, a lot of you probably saw on my Instagram, which I've actually deleted the picture, but these two cuties here are having a picnic. And anyway, so I just love this picture, and I thought they were so cute together. But I know this picture is from the 40s. And then I have this vintage French magazine page, which has receipts. I mean, not receipts, recipes. And then on the back side, there is like this picture guide of someone baking. So I thought this was so pretty and fit so well with this journal theme, so I used it here. And then these two were from my personal collection that I've just chosen to use in this journal. And also, I just love this centerfold page here. I just think that it's so warm and welcoming, I think, and reminds me of like a row of houses just all lined up. And then on this page, I have just folded the end of, like, this was a really long page, and I've just folded it up to make like a big pocket on either side. And then I've made a tag out of a recipe card, and then another little tag out of a playing card, and this vintage slide of this person standing in her dining room. So you can journal on the back of this, obviously. And the recipe is still intact, so if you want to cook some oyster turnovers, here you go. I have the recipe. Okay. Oh, and this little milk cap that I've used as like kind of a tab there. And then these two things both come from Lisa's shop, so she'll have some like clipped out recipes from like newspapers and magazines and things. And then on this page, I have made this journaling card, which I think is probably my favorite from the whole journal, but it's made from like a vintage Swan's ice cream wrapper. And I've just backed it with like some file folder scrap there. And this is actually a tuck spot, so you can tuck something in there. And then this is like a little fold out, so lots of journaling space there too. And I've just used this vintage cigar box label and made altered paper clip. So just holds everything on. And then on this page, I've just tucked in a bunch of things that I loved. All of these came from Lisa, but I could not find anywhere to use them myself. So I thought whoever purchases a journal would enjoy using these to collage with or journal on or whatever. So I've just tucked them in here. Oh, and this little tab is from a recipe book also. The Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook, which I have a first edition, I think, and so that came out of that one. So, okay, I made another journaling card tag out of vintage envelope and just a children's book page. It's like the alphabet book. And then this is another recipe book page. Let's just tuck right in there. This is flocked paper, and then a dairy customer receipt, like stub from all the dairy milk tickets. This is from Lisa's sale also. Excuse me. And then some more recipe book page there. This photo is one that I got from Lisa. So she sent me this cute little vintage photo, these kids with a birthday cake, and I've just backed it with some like pattern paper and put some photo corners on. Just tucks right up in there. And then obviously that's Flower Fairies, but I chose it because it's a strawberry. And then this page, I added this little fabric pocket here. Love this. It's so cute. And added in another recipe card and the soda label. And then just some more pages. This is the tuck spot that I left empty. Then this is a vintage envelope that I made into like a flip out with some like stitched on guest checks and receipts and things. And then inside I've tucked in this fun little children's recipe page, which are for sweets. And I thought those were so yummy. So they get tucked in there. And then on this page, I've made this little corner tuck out of a recipe card, and inside this little wallpaper pocket that I've stitched together, I've just added in some more collage elements and labels and things like that for you to use. So it just tucks right in there. And then here are the last few pages, pretty empty. The back cover. And then on the inside of the back pocket, I've just tucked in another of those little cocktail recipe cards, a tiny little coin envelope, and a couple of tickets. So that's my journal. Again, this is the Crafty Lisa's Vintage Design Team project for her Yummy Kitchen Ephemera sale. And I'll be listing this journal available for purchase on my shop Instagram account on Tuesday. I'll post the exact time in the description box below. But if you would like to have a tag, just send me a DM on Instagram and I'm happy to tag you for that sale. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Would love to hear your comments and your feedback on this journal. Yeah, see you in my next video.